Master Williams here again with you. So in this kata, we're going to take a look at the second kata in the Heian series, kata Heian Nidan. And in this kata, we're going to be dealing with a little bit more advanced techniques, a little bit more striking. So let's get into it. So the first opening movement of the kata is going to be in a back stance. Again, to the left first. And what we want to do is we're going to execute something called a C block. So it's going to be somewhat like an outside block. The other hand is above your head like a rising block. They're done at the same time. So you want to fold it from here, bring it through the center, and then the block comes up. So going to the left, block. After you're bringing your block up, you're going to take your top hand, you're going to do an uppercut. Then you're going to execute a hammer fist in this position. So going the other direction, same technique, folding, C block, uppercut, hammer fist. From here, we're going to shift feet together, chambering our hands to our side here. We're going to execute a side kick and a back fist this direction. So I know you can't see it, but in a minute I'll show it to you from another angle. So side kick, back fist. Then we want to set our foot down, stepping away from where we were, executing a knife hand block in a back stance. So folding and blocking. We're going to execute two more. 1, 2. And then we're going to execute something called a spear hand technique. So what I'm going to do now is this hand's going to fold over flat. I'm going to step to a forward stance and execute a spear hand. So this hand here is fingertips are right where my elbow is. This hand is striking in. So this is a throw that we're going to be executing in the actual form. So if you were looking at me from the side angle, it's this position. So here's my spear hand technique. From here, we're going to turn. So the back leg is going to turn. From this way, I'm going to move this direction here. Knife hand block up high, and 45 degrees block. So you'll notice that's real similar to Heian Shodan Kata, except for instead of going low, we're going high. So going back the other way, high, high knife hand block. Then we're going to move our front leg. We're going to step back down the center, and we're going to take our back hand and execute a scoop block. We're going to do a front kick, set it down, punch, scoop block, kick, punch. Stepping forward, we're going to execute an augmented forearm block or a twin fist block. And then this position here, we key out again. So, hiya. Moving our back leg, we're going to turn, execute a low block all the way this direction. Then a 45-degree angle high block. Going back the other direction, low block, 45-degree angle, high block. And then we'll go back to ready position. So I'm going to do the kata one time for you without talking, so you just kind of can see the movements and understand the flow. So ready position is here. Let's take a look at the kata from the side angle once so that you can get a view here. You can see what's going on behind me. So I'm going to step a little bit forward for you guys from this position here in ready position. C block, uppercut, and striking to the stomach, not to the head. So make sure it's just kind of an inverted punch here. Hammer fist is going to the jawline. Other way, 1, uppercut, hammer fist, step, executing a side kick that way. 2, 3, hiya! Turning with the back leg, block, 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 scoop, front kick, punch, scoop, front kick, punch, folding across our body and blocking. From the front view, it looks like so. So my hands come here. They're going to come across. This hand's going to be up in an outside block position. This other hand is chambered in front of me, giving me a little bit of reinforcement. So, there with my key out. Hiya! Back leg. Low block. 45-degree high block. Low block. High block. That is Heian Nidan. So in this segment of the video, we're going to talk about Heian Nidan, which traditionally used to be called Pinan Shodan, which was actually the first kata. So if you have watched my other video, you would know that the Heian katas really, I think, are designed to be learned as a whole, as one complete self-defense system. And so I look at it from a fighting in order. So if you were to look at the actual Pinan Shodan, which we called Heian Nidan, it used to be the first kata. And if you're thinking about the first level of fight, that's when somebody's punching and kicking you and doing all that. So Mr. Filippo's going to help us out with this. We're going to take a look at that kata and show you exactly what's going on with it, and give you some cool drills that you can be able to practice with it. So the opening move of the kata is, of course, this C block. You see this motion a lot. You see it in Heian Nidan. You see it in Konkudai, where you're bringing your hands up. Several of the katas as you practice, and I think it's real simple. A lot of people try to over-explain this, but I think it's basically somebody's attacking it, and you're just getting your hands up, right? Like I'm getting my hands up, and I'm figuring out what's going on. So the opening movement of the kata is one side or the other, and what I'm doing is going here, throwing a strike, going here, and throwing a strike. And what I'm doing is, he's attacking me, and let's go with a hook punch just so we get it. Yeah, so now I got to figure out where he's at, right? So I'm blocking, here he is, okay, uppercut, hammer fist, right? So I'm going to decide after the block what's going on. So my hands are up, bang, bang, and there's my strike. So let's take a look at it from this kind of an angle. He throws his punch, right? So if I'm doing my block, 1, 2, so you can get a feel for that, right? If the other side, same thing, blocking, 1, 2, right? So you can see, I'm just hitting the gut, smashing him with a hammer fist to the head. Really strong technique to be able to take someone down. If you get a good strike to the jawline, you'll knock them out. Hopefully you've ended the fight. Now, the next part of the kata talks about stepping up and doing a side kick. So you'll notice we went from here, we're going to step up and throw a side kick behind us. And what that actually is telling us is that we want to kick him from behind. We want to get behind the opponent and kick him. So if he's throwing that hook punch again, we're talking about 1, 2, 3. And then what I want to do is I want to step. So I'm taking a step and clearing the arm, and then throwing my side kick to that knee, right? So we'll take a look at it from another angle here, right? So he's throwing his attack, blocking it, 1, 2, right? I can go either way. I can step this way, side kick to the knee, or I can step this way, side kick to the knee. So the goal is to get behind them, and then throw your kick to that leg, so that you can be able to take the opponent out, and then you just back out and you're done with the fight. So that's your opening sequence of, hey, if you're attacked, here's what you do. Gut check him, surprise him, hit him in the jawline, kick him in the knee, run away, right? So you can try to be able to survive. So let's take a look at the second series of movements is our knife hand blocks down the center line, and then going to our spear hand. Now some katas do spear hand this way, the Okinawan version is this way. Both are viable. I'll explain to you why we're actually doing the other strike here. So now we're going to address, if I'm fighting somebody and he's in a stance, let's go to the step so they can see it, is, hey, I don't want to deal with it. If he throws a punch, could I block? Yeah, I could just do the knife hand block and then, go from there, right? So what I want to do is I'm going to take my hand, I can go to the outside. So I can shove his arm, strike to the outside of the jawline. Or I can go to the inside, so I can pull the arm, strike to the jawline. If he strikes me there, block, step, strike to the jawline, and this is where I have that arm trapped. So if you'll look at the kata, you're going to see that you're going to end up in a similar style movement here, right? So a good way to practice this is to go pushing on the elbow, outside, inside. The other side, we're going to do the same thing. So he's going to switch feet. We'll go outside, right, pushing on that elbow, or I can bring the arm and go inside. So either version is what's going on with that knife hand strike. What I'm trying to do is use my forearm. I'm not using a chop, I'm using my forearm to strike into that jawline to be able to try to knock someone out. So the spear hand is giving you an option. So let's say that he is throwing a hook punch, and I decide to do the block, then I step in and strike the jawline, right? Well, that's one option. The other option is for me to block, wrap the arm up. So you see I've got the arm wrapped up. So that would be this motion here. And then I'm going to spear him right in the chest, right? So if you look at it from this angle, this is where some of us were taught spear him in the chest, which is actually not what's happening. What I'm doing is I'm taking my arm across his chest as I step to the outside of his leg, and then I'm going to take down there, right? So it's just, boom, I'm just throwing my forearm and my hand across the chest area, and then I'm getting a good strike in there after I've stepped behind his leg. So I'm getting a wrap, stepping, and throwing the guy down, okay? If they don't fall, if I move my back leg, I can actually make the throw finished. So if I've got the arm wrapped, I've stepped, and maybe you're kind of stuck here, sometimes it happens, move your back leg, I can make a little bit of a circular motion, and I can actually finish the throw, and then I can stomp back out, step away, but I'm getting an idea of how to be able to do one of the most basic throws that you really need to have in your repertoire, which would be the spear hand throw, the outside sweep, or whatever you want to call it. So we call it the spear hand throw, so you get a good feel for it. So the next part of the kata is doing knife hand, 45 knife hand, knife hand, 45 knife hand. What we're actually doing here is, again, dealing with that. You're throwing a punch, block, block. So if you'll look, I'm blocking 9 degrees, then I'm stepping into him 45 degrees, and you see he's off balance, smashing into that forearm into the neck. So I'm practicing that same motion again, but I'm actually being able to do it from a block and then into a smash, and getting some practice of some additional angles rather than going straight line and 45 degrees. Practicing both sides. So if I'm doing that again, block. So here I am straight. If I went straight on him, I might miss. So I'm actually going to go 45 degrees into him so I can get a good strike into that position there. So I'm practicing those angles. The next part of the kata is kind of fun. You've done your knife hand. You're going to actually step and do this little scooping motion. Okay? So the scooping motion, kick, and then punch it. Okay? So there are several techniques that I think are going on in here. There's actually been a thought process of, if I'm here and I'm doing my knife hand block motion, I can actually pull the guy off balance and then do some cool stuff behind him and take him down. But I think if you get too obscure with some of your techniques, that's not it. Simple is better. And what I think is happening here with this motion is, maybe you've gotten inside here, you've done some punching stuff, he's reaching over, you're grabbing, you're doing something. And what I'm going to do is a big circular motion. And in that circular motion, I'm actually going to go underneath his arm here and get the thing trapped. So you can see how I've got him trapped. Then I'm going to kick him in the leg, just like what we've done before, and then punch him, right? Boom, I've got some punches, I've got some kicks. It's telling you, got the arm trapped, punches, kicks, and you can take the guy down. So I'm doing a big scooping motion. This scooping motion doesn't work, right? Let's say I'm in here, and he's trying to come out with that other hand. The scooping motion doesn't work if it's little. See? It needs to be a big motion. You're going to attack this outside of the arm. So if you'll notice, there'll be a bend in the arm here. I'm actually going to drop my arm down on that. And then when I come back up, it's doing this circular motion. I end up keeping the arm bent, which is what I want. I want to keep that arm bent as I go into this outside, motion that I can kick and punch and scoop and kick and work that particular angle to be able to finish that out. Right? So again, I'm in here, maybe he's still a punch. Inside here, he's grabbing me with that hand, and I'm going to make a big scoop circular motion. See? So here I am, big scoop circular, bang, kicking, punching. So it's just giving you some options on what's going on and getting those arms out of the way. Again, kind of we're starting to play with this attack motion. So the last technique is doing a low block to a high block. We already know that can be blocking a kick and blocking a punch, but I don't think what's going on. There's a throw that Funakoshi has published in his first book, and in that throw, what we're actually doing is we're stepping on the opponent's foot, and then we're driving our forearm into the opponent's armpit area, and then we're doing a takedown, right? So if I've got somebody who's punching me, bang, I could be, he's being punching me, I've got my hands up, I've already done this other stuff, everything in the kata or whatever, right? But I'm executing a low block, and when I execute the low block, I'm actually stepping into the opponent. So if he's here, I'm doing my low block and I'm stepping in. See? I'm stepping on his foot. Low block. Then I'm going to step 45 degrees, and I'm going to do a high block, and what I actually want to do is get my forearm and my elbow into this chest and armpit area. So as I step in, I'm going to go to here, and then I can drive him down to the ground. You'll see this in dirty boxing. You'll see it sometimes if you're watching a boxing match, guys are punching, they get in here and step on it, and then they throw a hook and make the guy fall down so they can get a knockdown or whatever on it. But if I'm doing my low block, I'm stepping on the foot, I'm going to step now 45 degrees, which is what makes him fall, by going on those angles that he's not used to. And so I'm doing my low block and then getting my high block in that 45-degree angle, right? Low block and then high block to be able to get that takedown. So these are some of the basic techniques that I think is going on. Again, it could be blocking and punching, but I really feel like it's more of these items based on some of the research and things that we're doing. So enjoy practicing your Heian Nidan.